Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shemakakadash. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video, The Believers of the Way Don't Believe in the 12 Tribes chart. So they picked and choose what they wanted to teach from the one Westers. They call on, I believe they call on the Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. And say a lot of things that the former one Westers say. Now we know that they teach that the MOTB is, well, they don't teach what we teach. I believe they say it's sin, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I came across this video right here. And you got a lot of these groups, these different groups that just sprung up on YouTube that really got their start from watching one Westers, and they're kind of, making their teaching, the way they teach, their own. So there's certain things that they're taking away, there's certain things they're adding, there's certain things that they go by. So this is not, the scriptures say, the Apostle Paul said in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, let everything be done decency and in order. Now, and I said this many times on tape, on videos in the past. I said, if we never went on YouTube back in 2007, or, IUIC never went on YouTube back in 2006, or any of the rest of the former One Westers never went out on the highways and the byways and put it on YouTube, you wouldn't have many of these other groups. So they take what they want and they leave the rest. They pick and choose what's good to them, So this is the video right here. I'm gonna let you listen to a little bit of it. Inaccuracy of the 12 tribes sign. So not only is he going off on the Karagma, the MOTB, but he's going off on the 12 tribes sign. Now my question is this: how do you, and you go, if you watch their camp, they don't have a 12 tribe sign. At least the video, there's one video I saw before coming to this one where they were outside. It seemed to be about 10 to 13 of them or so lined up, and he was the main teacher. And I didn't notice a 12 tribe sign. So I didn't know that. I figured they were into the 12 tribes. And he went to a series of scriptures. He went to a lot of scriptures. If you're not learned, you'll be sucked into these scriptures. Fair words, fine speeches, to see the heart of the simple. So you got a lot of stumbling blocks out there among Israel. Now, what was I going to do? Oh, let me just let you listen, and then I'll close. And I'm looking forward to the Wi-Fi. That's what I call Wi-Fi, WFI, on the class that they're going to do on the MOTB, Revelation 13:16. Well, all the men, the serious men of GMS, will be watching their video, and when we will be scrutinizing the video. So listen up, and I'm gonna close.
With no record whatsoever that he actually come, right, from that line. Now let's go to Jeremiah. Right? Break it down, and I hope somebody can find notification. We're going to get Jeremiah, and I'm on chapter 17. And I'm on verse 4. This is why we don't deal with 12 tribes. Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage. Now,
so you heard what he said. This is why we don't deal with the 12 tribe sign. That's why I said, let me let you hear it, so it doesn't I don't come off like I'm putting words in his mouth. You saw his lips move, right? He said, this is why we don't deal with the 12 tribe son. So my question here is, how do you deal with, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to it so I can read it. I can very easily quote it. It's a very easy scripture to quote, but I'm gonna actually go to it. You know where I'm gonna go. See, we were set up pursuant to Ezekiel 3rd chapter and 18th verse, and other parts in Ezekiel, Ezekiel 18, I believe, Ezekiel 30, 33, I believe 33, 15. I'm not going to go to these precepts. We are here to warn the people. So you got a lot of different Israelite groups out there on YouTube that we're finding out is teaching a lot of different things than what the former One Westers teach. So it's up to us to come and tell the people that they're going off. Because somebody that comes into this new, they'll go to any, you know, video on any Israelite group, and to them, we all sound the same because they're not deep into this. So you gotta study. When you come into this, you gotta study. You gotta study. You gotta study. You know, you gotta learn how to rightly divide the word of truth. And on top of that, the Most High has to lead you to the truth. So that's why you got guys like, for example, GOCC. You got a lot of people following GOCC. When they do a live stream, they'll get thousands of people listening to that live stream, and they're teaching that Edomites can make it. They're teaching that there's an actual place called hell that you burn up in, that there's no such thing as reincarnation, that the name of the Most High is Ahia and the son's name is Yeshaya. So they're clearly going off. That's a whole different gospel from what he came up under the One West banner. I'm talking about the head of the GOCC. But somebody doesn't know, you know, fair words and fine speeches. I'm merely paraphrasing Romans 16. Deceive the heart of the simple. The simple are the ones that just, he's my teacher. Whatever he says, I'm just going to blindly follow. You got to come in the spirit of the church of Berea. And yes, there's levels to this thing. That's why Paul made the statement that the church of Berea were more noble than the church at Thessalonica. And he said, why? Because they searched the scriptures to see whether these things are true. So they double checked Paul. The church at Thessalonica, they just went, whatever Paul said, they went with it. So there's levels to this thing. So it says, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and the children or sons of Israel, his companion. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim. Joseph is changeable with the tribe of Ephraim. When you see Joseph, is referring to the tribe of Ephraim. And for all the house of Israel, his companions, the northern tribe, and join them one to another, the two sticks into one stick. And the word for in the Hebrew is plank. And they shall become one and nine hand. Now, when was that fulfilled? When did Ezekiel ever make two blanks and join them together and walked around with it? Never did that. That's talking about us now. That's talking about the two kingdoms coming back together. Isaiah 11 and so many other scriptures. Isaiah 14. There's so many other scriptures. This precept right here. So if Ezekiel never went around with a sign with the tribes on it, with the two kingdoms coming together, because at that time the kingdom was split. So did Ezekiel ever carry around a sign? No, we carry around that sign. That applies to us. Anyway, I'm gonna say shalom, on to the next one.